Many ransomware attacks are never made public or reported to law enforcement. As per NPR, according to the reported cases alone, every hour there are 7 ransomware attacks happening in the US. This is becoming an increasingly severe and pervasive problem, and it is only going to get worse. The largest ransomware payout was recently made by an insurance company at 40 million US dollars, setting a world record. In this video, I will help you understand why ransomware attacks are on the rise and what you can do to protect against it, as it is continuously increasing in frequency and victim losses are skyrocketing. Hi, my name is Reed Kaur. Welcome to Sekaurity, where we will together explore information security and leadership concepts using simple ways that anyone can understand. In a ransomware attack, cyber criminals encrypt the data systems to disrupt business operations and then ask for a fee by threatening to block access to these resources or publish highly sensitive data on the web. These attacks and tactics are not new. They have been existed for more than 30 years. The only difference is that the ransom being asked for it is getting larger and larger. As per AMC-Soft, an antivirus firm, the average ransom fee requested increased from $5,000 in 2018 to around $200,000 in 2020. Moreover, paying a ransom doesn't even guarantee that you or your organization will get any data back. This has now become a huge threat to our entire supply chain, essential services, and national security. Aftermath of ransomware attacks are felt not only financially in ransom costs, but in disruptions to businesses and services and loss of sensitive and regulated data, leading to fraudulent activities, monetary losses, and brand damage. As per a report from Coveware, the average downtime a company experiences after a ransomware attack is 21 days, which is disruptive to any business, forcing them to pay out. Now let's talk about why ransomware has gained so much popularity. As per recent report from CISA, the most common tactics hackers use to carry out ransomware attacks are email phishing campaigns, remote desktop, and software vulnerabilities. Okay, we get that these are symptoms of weak or inexistent processes and risk management at organizations, but the reasons for the popularity goes beyond these weaknesses. Let's take a more broader look and go through the top 4 reasons why ransomware attacks are so popular. Number 1 is the lack of implementation of best cybersecurity practices. People are still becoming victims to phishing campaigns due to lack of security awareness, and they click on malicious links or fail to keep their system vulnerabilities patched. The backups are not thoroughly tested and are being kept on the same network, and thus they are also getting locked away. This also has to do with businesses that traditionally never bothered about cybersecurity and now immediately are on the forefront. For example, on average, US healthcare organizations spend only 6% of their IT budget on security, but receive 88% of all the ransomware attacks. Number 2, it is highly lucrative for attackers, and the transactions are so hard to track as well. Recently, when the meat company JBS got shut down, when they got attacked by ransomware, they had to pay $11 million. Then Colonial Pipeline paid close to $5 million, and several other huge payments are made by many companies to get the systems back up and running. On top of all this, these payment demands are made through Bitcoin, which is hard to track. The FBI was able to recover half of the initial payment made to Colonial Pipeline ransomware attackers, but not everyone gets that lucky. In a recent Cyber Reason poll, 42% of companies with cyber insurance policies in place indicated that insurance only covered a small portion of damages resulting from a ransomware attack. Moreover, hackers nowadays are using a double extortion method. They not only encrypt your data, but steal highly sensitive data and then threaten you to leak it if you fail to pay. Reason number 3 is easy availability of ransomware as a service, in which hacking groups sell or lease their already developed ransomware tools to other criminal groups to execute these attacks, and then, once successful, they share the proceeds with the service provider. It is becoming more like a supply chain in itself. This trend has brought down the cost for new attackers, making it really attractive. According to Group IB report, 64% of all ransomware attacks it analyzed in 2020 came from operators using this ransomware as a service model. Number 4 reason is the lack of international criminal laws around ransomware attacks, due to which we continue to see these attacks coming from North Korea, Russia, and other countries. Bringing ransomware attackers to justice is a complex process involving local, federal, and even international authorities. The process can take many years, and during that time, the number of ransomware attacks will keep growing. It's like a game of whack-a-mole. If one group goes, another one emerges, and the process just keeps on going on and on. A combination of these four, that is, lack of cybersecurity practices, financial gains, anonymous payments, and the rise of ransomware as a service model and complex international laws will keep fueling ransomware attacks. Another thing to keep in mind is that there is no guarantee that even when an organization has paid the ransom, that their data will be made available to them or that they would not be attacked by another ransomware attack. They can potentially become a repeat victim. In one of the incident response engagements where I was consulting, a ransomware attacker moved laterally to deploy a backdoor on a few other machines that would have triggered after 12 months. This was done to regain access to the environment after 12 months and do the same attack all over again. To protect organizations from ransomware attacks, one needs to take a risk-based approach by proactively looking for security gaps in both network and technology stack so that it is harder for adversaries to breach networks and systems. In addition, provide mandatory and customized security and awareness training to all employees at a regular cadence to keep them informed about current cybersecurity threats and threat actor techniques. Here are the top 5 things you can do to protect and defend against ransomware attacks. Number 1, implement an advanced email protection solution which looks for suspicious phishing emails and quarantines them before the user interacts with them. As per recent Verizon data breach investigations report, 36% of all breaches started with phishing. Number 2, regularly patch your systems and applications to prevent adversaries from exploiting vulnerabilities which they could use or exploit to get access to your systems. The industry average for one of the popular KPIs, mean time to remediation or MTTR, is 60 days for internet-facing vulnerabilities. Given the RAS model, that is the ransomware as a service, this is ample time for attackers to gain a foothold in your environment, which could lead to a breach. Security teams should monitor this as a KPI and minimize this time as much as possible. Number 3, improve identity and access management program. Simple steps such as restricting admin rights on endpoints helps to decrease the attack surface significantly. Furthermore, implement multi-factor authentication as an additional layer of security to confirm users' identity in addition to their password. This should also be implemented on all systems, network, and for remote access such as RDP. Additionally, establishing group policy object rules gives organizations much more granular controls over file execution, disabling executable attachments, restricting access to the system, and making it really difficult for ransomware attackers. Number 4, implement and test air-gapped offline backups. As per Kaspersky, an antivirus company, 71% of ransomware victims were not able to restore from their backups. Most of these companies had to pay ransom as they were unable to restore the data from their backups, mostly because the backups were stored on the same network and it was also encrypted during the attack. So it is generally recommended that organizations use a solution that allows multiple iterations of backups to be saved with at least one copy stored offline on a different network, so that you have a backup plan just in case a copy of the backups is either encrypted or corrupted. Also, companies should routinely test backups for data integrity and to ensure that it is operational. Number 5, lastly, implement endpoint protection on your systems and application firewall on your network, which can help detect these malicious executable files based not only on signatures but also through behavior analytics and help block them immediately. Even when you have implemented these layered security controls, a persistent attacker may still get through the cracks due to constantly changing network environments, attack surface, and threat landscape. For those situations, organizations should have a ready and tested incident response plan, because no matter how well you are prepared, having a step-by-step plan will help you to take control of the situation if the worst were to happen, and will help you reduce the impact and downtime for the organization. Hope that you learned from this video where we covered ransomware attacks, why it is on the rise, and steps organizations can proactively take for preparation and protection. Thanks for watching, and please let me know if you have any comments and feedback for us. See you next time.